Hi, Allison here. I hope you guys are having a great day or already had a great day, depending on when you start watching this video. So today I wanted to talk about my humble collection of designer perfumes. I have been obsessed with perfumes for the past few months, since around May, so the beginning of summer basically. And in my obsession, I've been sampling fragrances, smelling fragrances at the department store counter, purchasing discount fragrances at TJ Maxx. I have become well acquainted with what I like, what I have wanted in my collection, and what I ultimately decided to get. So let me go ahead and start with the first designer perfume I decided to get. So one of the things about my perfume collection and storing is that I do save the boxes. This is the box for Femme de Gioia. And the reason I save the boxes is because it's just another way to protect the juice inside, to keep it from going bad quicker than necessary. It's best to store your perfumes in a dark place away from the light. I used to store my perfumes in a dark drawer, but I've recently decided to store them behind me on my bookshelf. So the fact that I still have my boxes is reassuring because I still feel like they're protected from the light. So this is Femme de Gioia. So Femme de Gioia is by Giorgio Armani. Giorgio Armani is probably I would say my top two favorite house as far as perfume fragrances go. You'll figure out pretty quickly what my other one is. But Femme de Gioia is a very summery, sweet fragrance. It reminds me a bit of hair conditioner or shampoo, but I still like it even though it reminds me of a hair product. I like that when it dries down, it reminds me less of a hair conditioner or shampoo and just gives me more of that sweet, fruity summer vibe. It's not a perfume I would probably wear every day because even though I like the way it smells, I'm not always in the mood for a sweet, fruity perfume. I like fruity perfumes, but I'm more likely to be in the mood for a dark fruit as far as fruity perfumes go. This is more of a, I guess, a light colored fruit. Like, it reminds me of the smell of coconut, even though coconut's not in it. It also has frangipani in it. So it just has kind of like a silky, creamy, almost thick sweetness that can sometimes be, can almost give you a sickening feeling depending on how you're feeling that day. So basically, if you're already feeling a little, I guess, queasy or feeling like you might have a little bit of an upset stomach, I don't think this is the perfume you would want to smell in that moment. But if you're not feeling that way, this can be a very comforting perfume. The next perfume I recently purchased. I'm currently in school. I'm in grad school. Part of the reason why I haven't been able to purchase perfumes is because I'm in grad school. Money's a little tight. But I went ahead and applied for financial aid, even though I was just not really excited about taking out a loan for school because I'm so over loans. But I went ahead and applied for financial aid and I got a bit of a refund check, and I decided to treat myself to some perfume. Not with my whole check. I didn't blow the whole check on perfume. But once I felt like I set aside enough for bills and rain checks or rainy days, I looked at what was left and I was like, I can afford to treat myself. So I ended up treating myself to two perfumes because the perfume I wanted to treat myself to, I wanted the 3-ounce bottle, but the 3-ounce bottle wasn't available, which made me feel like I could afford to go ahead and get two 1-ounce bottles. So the one I got first was Black Opium Nuit Blanche. This is the box. And this is the bottle. Now, I was captivated with Black Opium from the moment I smelled it, but my issue with Black Opium was that it just didn't last that long on me. So I really couldn't justify spending high-end or designer perfume money on a perfume that would only last an hour on me. But one day, I got curious and I tried out Black Opium with Rogue Love by Rihanna. So this is my bottle of Rogue Love by Rihanna. This is also the 1 ounce. I was doing some experimentation with perfume lettering just to see what would happen. Some of my experimentation resulted in some disgusting smells, but the combination of Rogue Love with my I don't have Black Opium. I have an impression of Black Opium, which also doesn't last on me that long. But when I combine Road Love with the Black Opium impression that I have, it jumped up the lasting power nicely. Not to a full 8 hours, but it went from lasting no more than an hour or two to lasting about 4 hours. So I was really excited because I was like, oh my goodness, now I can get the real Black Opium. I went to Sephora, and when I went and I smelled Black Opium again, and then I smelled Nuit Blanche, I liked Nuit Blanche more, and it made me feel better to have something that's different from what I already have. I already have an impression of Black Opium, which is a very good impression, so I was willing to get the real Black Opium, even though it smells exactly like something I already own, but I was more excited to get Nuit Blanche, which has that Black Opium DNA, but it's a little different. So the way I wear this is that I do 2 sprays of the Black Opium Nuit Blanche, and then 2 sprays of Road Love by Rihanna on top. And the Road Love by Rihanna basically acts as like a sealant, like it keeps this from evaporating too quickly and going away. And I've worn the combination one time, and when I went to work that day, I didn't get a compliment that day, oddly enough, but the next day when I decided to wear my son the Gioia instead, someone came up to me and was like, no, the one you wore yesterday was much better. That one was, and he was kind of hesitant to compliment me because I guess he felt like it might have been on the edge of, I guess, harassment or inappropriate conversation. But he went ahead and emphasized to me that whatever I was wearing the day before, which happened to be Nuit Blanche with Road Love on top, he was like, that one was perfect and amazing, and that's the one I need to wear all the time. And that's when I only had the sample of Nuit Blanche. So that's when I knew for sure that I wanted a bottle of Nuit Blanche, which I now have. The next fragrance I have been wanting for a while. I talked about this in another video, and if you saw that video, then you know that my first reaction to this perfume was initially one of like, no, I don't like it. But then the fact that it lasted that full day and I still smelled it the next day, and the fact that once it dried down, I smelled more of the blackberry than the other note that was kind of turning me off, I came to really, really enjoy that perfume, and I really, really wanted it. I went to the store so many times just to smell it. I went to the store so many times trying to get a sample. They would not give me a sample of this perfume. They gave me a sample of everything else that I didn't ask for, but they wouldn't give me a sample of this. So I finally went and purchased Gucci Guilty. That's what I purchased the same time that I purchased the Nuit Blanche. Gucci Guilty Absolute Perfume is not available at Sephora. So after I left Sephora and realized I wasn't going to get a full bottle, a full 3-ounce bottle of Nuit Blanche, I basically went on down the street to Ulta and decided to go ahead and get Gucci Guilty, because I had already budgeted for more than what I ended up spending on a 1-ounce bottle. So I convinced myself that that just meant I had room for 2 1-ounce bottles, since I didn't get a 3-ounce bottle. And I was so excited because Gucci Guilty Absolute Perfume has been on my mind for a very long time. I thought I wouldn't get it until maybe December, but I'm excited that I have it now, even though for the rest of the month I will probably be eating rice and beans just to keep saving the money I've set aside to save. Like, I don't want to touch that money. So to keep from touching the money in my savings, it's going to be a very sparse week, but maybe I'll lose some weight. It'll be a very sparse month. So maybe I'll lose some weight in the process, and that'll be cool. What I like about Gucci Guilty Absolute Perfume is that it's fruity, but it's dark, so it still feels like a very adult perfume for me. It doesn't feel childish or girlish. It feels like a perfume that a grown woman would wear. I feel like some younger women might even feel like it smells too mature for them, like a teenager or someone who's in their early 20s. I feel like they would like smelling it on another woman, particularly an older woman, but they might feel uncomfortable smelling it on themselves. And then the last perfume I have, I've already shown before on my channel, but it is Gucci Bloom. And this is the 1-ounce bottle. So this perfume was a gift to me by my sister Constance. She surprised me with it, and I was very excited about the surprise. there was a brief moment where I wasn't as into this perfume, and it's because I went and smelled Gucci Bloom Natara de Fiori. It was weird. When I went to the store to smell that one, I smelled it and then I smelled Gucci Bloom again, and for some reason Gucci Bloom didn't smell as good as Gucci Bloom Natara de Fiori. So I kind of had to take a break from Gucci Bloom so I could forget the way that Natara de Fiori smells, so that I can come back to feeling like this is the perfect scent that I thought it was when I first became captivated by it. And the strange thing is, when I smell Gucci Guilty Absolute Perfume and then smell Gucci Bloom, it's a very pleasant experience. I seriously enjoy just smelling my perfume caps, and it just makes me happy. And smelling this makes me happy. It's a creamy white floral. It has tuberose in it, which is one of my favorite flowers to smell. It's not really that pretty of a flower, but I love the way it smells. And this whole collection honestly just fits my personality for the different ways my personality can go. I feel like Sun de Gioia is perfect for the days when I'm a bit chipper and bright and extra. I do have those days when I'm the combination of chipper and bright and extra. But then Black Opium Nuit Blanche is perfect for the days when I'm, I guess, a bit sensual and womanly, because this has the coffee note, it has the creaminess, it has that sweet coffee smell. But the Nuit Blanche version is not as dark as the original Black Opium version. The Black Opium, the original version, has patchouli in it. Nuit Blanche does not. And the patchouli note gives it a darkness and a depth. And there will be days when I want to have that full darkness and depth added to my fragrance for that day. Probably on the days when it's really cold or whatever. But Black Opium Nuit Blanche, I still feel okay wearing this even though it's not cold yet. And like I said before, it's perfect for those days when I'm feeling a bit more womanly. Gucci Guilty Absolute Perfume is just like a signature scent. I just feel like I could wear this any day and feel like myself. And I feel the same way about Gucci Bloom. I feel like I could wear this any day and feel like myself. I don't have to be in a particular mood to wear either one of those perfumes. I just save them because for all of these I only have the 1 ounce bottle. So all of these I will probably save for special occasions or special-ish occasions. I still want to use these. I'm not afraid of using them up, but I don't want to rush to use them up. Like, I don't want to use them up within a month or something like that. But I don't mind if I use one of these up within 6 months, because recently I've decided that when it comes to perfumes, it's only comfortable for me to collect perfumes if I actually use them. I've been watching perfume collection videos, and it stresses me out when someone says, oh, I have this perfume and it went bad before I got to use it up. That is just a waste to me. The idea of spending a decent amount of money on a perfume and not being able to use it all before it goes up. So I'd rather use up my perfume too early than end up not being able to use it before it goes bad. So basically not using it before it's too late. So that's all I have to say about my perfumes. If you have any questions or comments, just feel free to leave a comment below. And if you want to see some of my other videos, then subscribe to my channel and you'll be able to see the next video that I upload. If you're curious about my other videos that are already up, then feel free to click on my username, Also Sensitive, and just see what else I have available. Bye. Thanks for watching.